We're on.
We're on?
We're
We're
on.
not on. Are we
We
on?
are on,
How
yes.
come I don't see your beautiful face? Good
Okay.
evening. Welcome to Laugh Talk Giggle. You're watching us live. It's Wednesday, August 18th. Yeah, I've been writing that all day, so I remember that. And I am Lady J, one of the hosts of Laugh Talk Giggle with Mr. D, Mr. Detroit, Mr. Rudy D D D D D D D D D, Mr. D Dog Diddly D Dom D Da D, who's on his phone talking and texting his girl as usual. Every show he's on the phone texting somebody. So y'all know I always talk about this. And then he try to act like he ain't doing anything. But y'all watching Laugh Talk Giggle live. Tonight we have a guest. It's a special guest that Mr. D brought in on him, that he brought in. So he's going to do all the intros for it. Because I have gum in my mouth being rude.
No, I am not.
Oh, you're not going to introduce?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You see how he act? You see, this is what I deal with every show.
Talking
not
about
even- I'm
laugh,
not
talk,
even-
giggle. Just, shh, shh, shh. Your host, Mr. D. Thank you for watching Laugh Talk Giggle on WJGZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. Streaming live every Wednesday nights, 7 o'clock on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter Live. Please like, comment, subscribe. Tag a friend and share. So I guess tonight no.
Y'all can share it with me.
No, don't share.
I would like to get our
having
likes
fun.
up to. Our likes aren't that high. We only get like 12 likes, but we get a lot of views. But could y'all like? I like to see 20. We just. I ain't asking for a lot.
Nobody likes you.
I know.
But me.
I know.
And that's
And
where
11
it's
other
in.
people.
So
One of them me.
so I guess tonight is very dear to me, and I would say that we have Mr. K. Seabury with us, right? He is a prominent lawyer and figure in the city.
You're a family member.
Right, you just went blank. Brain freeze.
I thought you was the host. His
No,
family member.
Thank you.
I'm the
Thank you.
co-host.
His
And we about
family
to-
member.
We about to get a new host.
This is my family member, right, who has represented me quite a few times. We'll just put it like that. We'll keep moving, okay? But
Attorney and counselor at law.
yes.
How long have you been practicing?
Ooh, about a little under 22 years.
Oh, okay. Okay. So he's represented you through all of your legal battles.
Seriously?
You've gotten so much experience. That's the way to do it. I need experience. Let me see who's in my family getting in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
That way, if you went away, everybody wouldn't have felt bad because they were like, well, at least he tried. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I don't care if you roll your eyes at me. So, what is your special field? Is it criminal law? Is it? You been married? Like multiple divorce laws?
No, I'm not married. You talking to
Has he
to
been
cousin?
married?
Ooh,
Have you had to do divorce law?
no, but
Real estate fraud?
there's
Money laundering?
there are certain things that we can't.
Oh, clients. Oh,
That's
God.
right. That's
There's
right.
certain things you got to be
Lawyer
quiet
client
about.
privilege.
But I don't believe my cousin's
write
ever
it
been
down.
married, because if he has, he definitely didn't invite me to the wedding.
That's because he's selfish and mean. I'm just gonna say that.
No, we do a lot of bankruptcies. We do criminal. My partner, her name is Cassie Ponder. She does a lot of probate and family law, divorce, custody type thing,
Yeah.
things like that. I don't do that kind of that family law.
Okay, so what do you do?
Criminal, bankruptcy for the most part. I do wear a different hat. I'm an NFL agent as well. So negotiate contracts for NFL players that have been able to get the ability to sign a contract with the NFL team.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's got to be interesting. Is there anybody that should be on our show? I can write that into their contract after you get this one appearance on Laptop Giggle. All right, I'm trying.
Why you want to get some more likes?
What's right? They say closed
You
mouths
gotta
don't
get
get
some
fed. Okay. So 22 years. What school did you go to?
High school, I went to Cass. I'm a technician, 88, the year of our mayor. Then I went to the University of Minnesota and played ball there from 88 to 93. Then I graduated from there. Thought I was going to go to the league. Didn't. Came back home. Went to the University of Detroit Law School. Graduated. Passed the bar. Then I wasn't ready to pay back my student loans. So I went to Wayne State to do a Master's of Law.
Oh,
Didn't finish it, but I went.
okay.
Then he represented you.
I quit playing.
So wait a minute, how did you go from playing basketball to law?
Football.
To law.
Well, first of all, I went to CAD. So we do, playing sports is just a sport. Academics is something that's, at least in my family, it was just something that we were doing anyway. So playing a sport was just something else that I was able to do. And, I was able to go to Cass and then go to University of Minnesota. And I've always had a desire to help people. And it was always, at least going to Minnesota, just to be able to compete academically at a university such as the University of Minnesota, I will say. It just was one of the things that just gave me confidence that I knew I could be able to do anything I desired to do.
Oh, okay.
So one of the things I wanted to do was to help people, and ultimately I'm like, hey, I can do that. I want to be a lawyer. It was interesting to playing ball. And the reason why I say that now, because I used to play safety, so I used to hit people. So very literally, I hit people now. I just can't physically hit. I use my mouth. I use the tools that I've been able to learn, let's just say, to hit people in a different kind of way.
Okay. That's the better kind of way.
I don't know. There's always balance in both, because a lot of times the lawyers that, I'm up against, they haven't been able to be in the types of environments that I've been able to be in. Playing at the University of Michigan and Ann Arbor and having 100,000 people screaming and all the people on television and performing at your best. And then now you transition as you get older as a lawyer, you have that as your background, as your experience. Lawyers don't have that, except for very few.
Okay.
So.
Don't be shaking your head.
I'm just here. I'm just here. I
So,
set him up, you knock
y'all
him
first
down.
cousins?
Yes.
So,
Oh.
Yes, we are.
Mm-hmm.
His father and my mother and sister's mother.
Okay. Okay, I guess so. I'll go with that.
where'd you go to school?
Let's see, this is not about me.
Ah!
I'm gonna turn this interview
You go to
around.
school.
I went to Spring Arbor University.
Ann Arbor?
Christian.
Ann Arbor?
Spring Arbor.
Okay.
That was a Christian school.
It was a Christian
All
school.
girls?
No.
Christian
No.
school.
It's faith
That's why
based.
you cussed the way you cussed.
So that's the funny part, because I have people, they get to telling me stuff, and I tell them I went to church when I was little, not as an adult. And I just was saying something to somebody, and I was like, well, in 1 Corinthians it says, so they were like, oh yes.
Did you cuss after you said it?
No, in my head I did. In my head I did. I sure did. I'm like, I know this. Don't play. I may curse, but that's my recreation. I don't drink. I don't smoke.
Okay.
I don't do no drugs. I ain't no thought, so I gotta curse. I can curse everybody out.
See what I have to go through every Wednesday.
No.
Oh,
So
boy.
I see the wine.
Oh yeah, we don't drink that. That's
I see
cheap.
the wine. That's just.
It's, I think somebody might be drinking because I think at one time all of that was filled up. So when this show first started, we used to drink wine, but we always brought our own because I can't drink like those kind of wines. I can drink the really sweet Kool-Aid like wines.
Right. That's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Stella Rosa is like 9% alcohol, and you could drink that and be fine. But you drink one of those wines with a higher alcohol content, 18% and stuff.
Yeah, Lady J up on the table.
I go to sleep.
You go
My
sleep?
head start hurting. I'm like, oh, I'm going to bed. My head hurt. And then plus we always put water in it for me.
Quit playing.
Yeah, I can't.
Quit playing.
Yeah, so we don't drink that. And then it's like cheap.
Seriously.
It's cheap.
It's cheap.
That's the bird sound.
So that's
Not like
what was-
Stella Rosa's that much more expensive. It's only like $13.
Wild Irish Rose. It's not that. Y'all don't even know what Wild Irish Rose is?
I've heard it. Fred Sanford used
Hold
to drink
on,
it.
no.
Yes, he
He
did.
didn't drink
Wait a
water.
minute. I could have sworn.
He drank
I'm gonna be
Sham
quiet
Pipple.
now.
What?
He drank Sham Pipple.
What is that?
It was a mixture of something.
I ain't never heard that. He drank Wild Irish.
No, he.
No, it wasn't. It was. He's
It
right. It was Ripple.
Sham. Yeah, it was Ripple.
Oh, you know
right.
what?
Ripple.
Let's
He
start
called it
with,
Sham Pipple.
Don't try to double team me.
He did.
Ripple.
He just agreeing with you because y'all got a bloodline.
Wild Irish Rose, you didn't know.
Yeah.
MD. 20.
Mad Dog.
Mad Dog.
That's what. Right.
Silver satin. That was
We year you graduated
Yeah, I don't know
high school,
what that
cuz.
what year was I supposed to graduate?
Okay. What year were you supposed to graduate, cuz?
As long as you graduate, it don't even matter.
81. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
I was
that's right.
supposed to come out 81.
So 7 years, so I graduated in 88.
No.
77.
80.
I don't know.
Yeah,
88.
81.
They should have
Yeah.
figured this out before they came on the show. I'm just
88.
saying, they've been knowing each other for a very long time.
Very long time.
So y'all didn't really, because you're so old, that he didn't really hang out with you because he was just a mere child. And, you being such an older
I would.
man.
I wouldn't allow him to hang out with.
Good, because you were not a good influence.
No, I was not.
We were talking out in the green room,
Yeah, no.
and he was like,
I really wasn't. I really wasn't. But
oh, I got a new song for you. What's not
but people knew not to put their hands on me.
I had a bullet.
He had a book. You ain't do nothing about the book. It's not too late.
They didn't tell
I had
me.
a
They,
bullet.
they didn't tell me.
Had a
Now,
bully,
not
man.
now, not that. His mother would not
I had
tell
a
me.
bully, man.
Would not tell me. Had she told me, it would have been
It
taken
would've
care
been a
of and it
problem.
would have been handled.
Well,
Right.
it's not
Right.
too late. If I have a bully, I got a
Had
bully
a
right now.
bully.
I could turn you on to.
I was the paper boy, and he knew.
Oh, he took your paper money.
There was a time, I remember he was dating this girl in middle school. He was in high school. You know, when you look back at it, you'd be like,
Right.
and he take him my paper, my money, dog. He
Child
knew,
predator.
he knew when. I saw you collected. Like, what the hell, bro? You saw me collected.
They got
It was funny. It's funny now. It wasn't funny then. It wasn't funny.
You collected that money.
You said, I saw you out there collecting.
Because I know one of our other cousins, he did 18.
18 what?
18.
18 years.
18 years, yeah. And his mother always tells me about how some boy was about to pick with him, and another boy said, "You don't want to mess with him. That's such and such cousin. Let him alone." No, I wasn't a good influence. No, but see, he got caught up in all that.
YBI?
Not the YBI, but all the, brain, and all the laws that came down with
Oh, all the
Cocaine, the
Yeah,
rocks,
cocaine and all that. Yeah,
the rocks as opposed to the powder.
yeah.
okay,
He got caught up in all that. Yeah,
That's real.
in Bill Clinton's thing.
I got a question relating to this.
Mhm.
So I haven't read the full article, but I did read that they are trying to take restitutions away from or they either already passed the law to take restitutions away from individuals who were wrongfully in prison. So, when you would come out of prison, they would give you X number of dollars. I don't know, $1,000,000, $2,000,000. I don't know how it went. But there's a law, and I think it's supposed to be a federal law that was passed, that they're saying they're taking that away so people can't come out and get these large amounts. Because most of the people coming out looking like us. And they're finding out now with, new testings and things that people are innocent and things like that. So they can come out and they've been suing. And so I read
That's
this
what you're
article.
talking
Have you
about.
heard anything about that? Or
So, is that related to a lot of the new genetic testing that is revealing that there are different defendants that are either incarcerated in state, federal prisons, and because of the new testing that's out there, that is exonerating a lot of people.
yes.
So I did not know that they're attempting to
Yeah,
eliminate
I
the ability to a person to redress that, because that's just something that you should be able to do.
I mean, that makes sense. Once again,
What?
I mean, it makes sense on a level.
It's a
once
constitutional
again.
issue.
Yeah, I mean, we're deprived once
Well,
again. Just like I'm still waiting on my 40 acres and my mule.
well, you don't want that.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't want that. I don't want that.
You can give me 40 acres, you can keep the mule.
I'll take the mule too.
You don't want the mule?
I don't want the mule.
You don't want
You can give me a Kubota tractor to help do the farming on the 40 acres. Agriculture. He's got a green.
that's a
Find
decent
that, 'cause I just
debate,
saw
really.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, Michigan law.
So, all right, let me ask you this: don't you think the PPP was kind of like a nationwide reparation because you can't go to work?
Who?
For everybody that got the PPP, you can't go to work, so I'm gonna give you money.
But now they all have to pay it back. Oh, they don't have to pay it back? I thought they had, what are they talking about? The IRS coming after people?
But one question at a time, because that's another
Oh,
point.
okay.
That's a
I don't
great
know.
point.
I mean, when I first heard about it, honestly, I thought it was a little bit much. I think that there should have been some, definitely something put in place. But a lot of people that I know who benefited from that didn't have a job anyway. I'm just gonna be honest. They didn't never have a job. They were getting unemployment and never had a job. And I mean, like 18-year-olds getting $12,000, $15,000 cash and not even have bank accounts. So there was so much abuse involved in it that I don't know. I think the concept was a good concept. I think because everybody was so panicky and was rushing to do something that they could have thought it out a little bit better. That's just what I think, but that's my opinion. Did you benefit? Did you get unemployment?
I'll take the fifth.
Oh, that's a yes. that would be a yes.
I'll take the fifth. No, I had to fight for mine.
Did you?
I had to
But
fight.
they eventually get that to you.
Yeah, I had to actually fight for mine because I was self-employed.
Well, see, they said people self-employed could get it,
Yeah, but
and it was the first time they had ever did that.
right.
Ever.
But it took me. I fought for over a year.
Really?
Yeah, in order to
Yeah,
get.
you have to fight. Well, you have to.
And it wasn't until I filed my taxes for the previous year, showing them that they said, "Oh, okay, so he was working."
So what about these teenagers and things that were getting it?
That
no job at all.
Well, they had to reflect that they had to have some kind of job just to get the unemployment benefit. Just now, mind you, you had some fraud going on with people coming up with a job that they had, or their uncle said that they was working there, and whatever the case may be. So you had those types of things that were occurring. But the generation of because the question was the reparation, because that's what it was.
Do you think well, I guess. Well, what? So the
Because
whole country got
we got
reparations.
money because we couldn't go to work.
But everybody, I was working, so I didn't get anything.
You got people
And
that
I
was
didn't
getting
physically go to work. I worked from my house, but I was still working.
Right, I feel you. And there was a lot of people that still are, and you know, we as lawyers, most of us, we were working from home for a long period of time. That just really relaxed this year. So we like Macomb County, we're going physically into Macomb County District and Circuit Courts, but for the most part, we're doing most of our appearances on Zoom. So unless there's some hearing that requires us to physically go in, like a trial or some formal hearing, so then we physically have to go in there. But other than that, but what I wanted to get back to is the reparations and why I say we don't want reparations, because the creation of money, for the most part, is monopoly. The more a government creates money, just think of this: 40% of the money that was created of United States currency was all of the United States currency that was ever created. 40% was created during COVID because of PPP. So that means that every dollar that existed before they created that money went down, which meant I was telling my whole family, I was like, hey, soon as that happened, 2022, 2023, we're going to experience all kinds of inflation. That's why rich people stay rich, because they acquire assets. So their assets are going up and dollars are going down because they just print it out like Monopoly. So now if I got this asset for sale, my price it's not going to be the same now. It's got to go up. Because y'all just printing out money. So people who are owning assets, we coming up with inflation. Inflation's not hurting us as much. However, it's hurting those people that's got to pay more of these dollars that they keep finding value with. So to your point, buying silly stuff that's going down in value as opposed to some land or a house, some stock, some Bitcoin, whatever. But do something, buy a scarce asset. And that's what people don't do, and they didn't. And now we're paying for it right now because of all of the free money print.
Well,
They about to print some more.
That's why you don't want them to give us.
About to
I
print
want
some
to
more.
wipe off my student loan.
Hey, now,
Now
that's
what I
for
want.
me.
I'm with
Yeah.
that.
Wipe off my student loan. That's where I'm at. That's what I've
I'm
always
with
wanted.
that.
I want take my student loan
And
because
make it
I
go
should not
away.
have graduated and I'm still paying for this. Man.
I'm on television. I ain't gonna say anything.
Yeah. I mean, last time I checked, that was 216,000.
Oh no. Y'all don't understand how cheap I
Yeah.
am. I think
Nah,
my
That's the
loan-
best debt to have.
It is, but it's.
I mean,
mine
because
is-
it's not stressful.
It is.
My
to
first
me just
coupon-
having a debt.
My first coupon came. That's what drove me to go back to law school the second time. First coupon book came for payment because I went to UD Law School, so it was private law school. I think it was $1,180
A month?
a month.
Oh.
And the
God.
coupon book was that thick. I'm like, boy, I'm about to go back to school. I need to meet Oprah. I need help. So I go back to school. That was one of the main reasons I go back to school. Because I'm like, how am I going to do that? I don't even own a house. I don't own no car. So to your point, I get you. So I understand that that's a stress. But then when you start getting older and more experienced, then because I do bankruptcy, do tons of bankruptcies. So now I started to begin to place hierarchies on debt. So one of the debts that is really an unsecured priority debt that's not going to hurt you, student loans. And the acquisition of information and knowledge is priceless.
Well, yeah.
So it's that most times people spend their time in school doing stuff that they really didn't have a passion to do. Find the passion, and if you go into the right school, trust me, you can find that degree too.
Oh yeah.
You know, so it's, I talk to kids, I coach, and he can tell you, but Cass Tech, I coached defensive backs at Cass Tech up until the pandemic, and I've coached many kids, and oftentimes they think that the only way to get there
It's through.
is through football.
Time out.
All right.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
I want to thank you for watching Laugh Talk Giggle. You're watching Laugh Talk Giggle live on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. Streaming live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. for Laugh Talk Giggle. That is us. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch Live, Twitter Live. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, like.
Just
like.
She just.
I want 20 likes. Damn, just 20.
20, just 20.
Right.
27.
27.
27 be nice. 19 be nice.
Anything other than 11?
12.
12,
I think
okay.
12 is our highest.
Oh, gosh.
It's gonna go there. So, not to cut you off. I just
No.
wanted to make sure we get
Y'all
that
sure.
done. I was going to say something.
Yep, you were.
Yeah, I distracted myself. You know, this is the worst. This is the worst month. They got us doing so many audits.
What was that
That's
time?
all I do all day.
Oh, yeah, it's that time.
Well, yeah, Sequire, and then the state's coming in and
Yeah.
audit everything. But because we've been out for the COVID, our paperwork is lax. Because we were mailing things out, and you know, I don't know, you probably heard how to mail. You had the experience. The mail was getting there like 2 weeks after it was sent out.
Or not getting there at all.
Exactly. I've heard people say never got mail. So we mailed out documents that never got signed or never got returned or got lost. So now we're going back looking for documents like for a year. And so we're running out to people's houses trying to get things signed. They telling us, I don't remember this. Well, you know, we're going to get this signed today. I don't know.
There you go.
Yeah, so we like out and about. Okay, so I'm going to go back to, what's your favorite type of case to represent? The ones that like really stimulate the brain cells. You be like, yeah, I like this.
First one was mine.
Ah. Oh, that is a
You still
loaded
living off the
question.
high?
That was the foundation, baby.
The best cases generally are the ones that you know that you've been able to help somebody.
Okay.
And what do I mean by that? There are instances, at least criminally, because most times when you tell somebody you're a lawyer, first instinct is to think for them to think you're a criminal lawyer. So I do criminal law. So there are people that may have done something, but it wasn't illegal. However, they have been charged with a crime.
Oh, okay.
So that's why you can get acquitted. That's you take the case to trial, jury say, shoot, he innocent. That means he was innocent. So those cases happen. They're not often. They
Sprinkle them through.
they happen. So that's why I say those. Once you see those happen, you're like, okay, all right, I'm here for that person to be able to help them with that situation. Then the other times you are lessening the problem, especially criminally. So if I'm about to go to jail, or if I'm charged with a certain type of a crime, and I can, let's just say a felony firearm, which is a mandatory 2 years, and then there's this felony, and I can represent that person on a CCW and some other stuff, and the felony firearm goes away, and I'm able to get them a misdemeanor transport of a firearm. Okay, that's a win.
Okay.
So they're not going to jail for the next 2 years because it's mandatory if they are found guilty or if they plead guilty. And a lot of times, you got a lot of, especially young men and women in the city of Detroit, and they just get railroaded. And you see it because they don't have representation, and public defenders aren't necessarily speaking to them in the way or at length the way that they should. And you know, once you catch that one, it's almost like that cycle because you can't break it. So you just in there. But those are criminal cases. On the civil side, money. Any case that, to the extent that I'm doing a case right now, I'm representing a friend of mine that was in a no-fault accident case, and he was broadsided as he was driving through a light.
Okay.
So right now I'm in the midst of a lawsuit with an insurance company. I just settled a lawsuit last year with a young man that was in a transport bus being transported from a jail here to Joliet, Illinois, that we were able to settle for a nice number. So the money is, what drives you on a lot of things. But the fact, it's realistically the help part. I really just, my transition now is to really get into more of the agency.
What does that mean?
I'm an NFL agent.
That
So
part.
right, so I really, I'm transitioning and leaving behind some stuff potentially for some, my partner, Cassie, and other young lawyers that I'm training, so that I still want to keep it going, but at the same time I have other, ambitions that I
So
like
is that
to pursue.
your law firm?
Yes.
So you're gonna still be member board or something, but you want to transition to, or you're gonna stay at the firm but just transition to another area of law, working with the NFL?
That's a great question. That depends on if I do join another agency out here in the world,
Oh, okay.
or create an agency, because I do have an agency, but devote my time primarily to that, and have the other lawyers handle the other thing, and my partner to handle those other things, the day-to-day stuff.
Okay.
But be a part of it, yep, because I created it.
Okay, that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got that head shake.
So I got a question for
Hey,
you.
go ahead, brother.
Let me write this one down. Question number 1 at 7:35. Got 20
What's the
minutes.
percentage of pro bono work that's done, or if at all? And I'm not just talking about you. I'm just talking about Lord. See, and
All
all
attorneys or just for his agency?
I mean, just
Well,
Just in general,
there is a
yeah.
requirement by the state of Michigan.
oh, it is okay.
That lawyers have to do certain amounts of pro bono work.
Okay.
Now, whether or not
Whether it's
those
being done or not,
individual
right.
lawyers are actually doing it, or whether or not the state of Michigan is actually tracking it, is another totally different thing. Now, for me, we do that like every day. And I say that because oftentimes people call you for free information.
Oh, just counsel over the phone.
Oh, that's yes, but it goes more in depth.
Oh,
It's kind of like a trigger. When you're on the phone or at any time, in any part of life, what's the saying? If I give you a rope, you think you're a cowboy. So if you on the other end of the line and it seems like I'm giving you information, then the next one is I got one more question.
oh.
I got one more question. I got one more question. And before it's over, she done said or he done said at 15, 20 times, and the clock is ticking. So to the extent that I'm not telling them, I'm not going to answer no questions for you, you're not paying me, I'm not going to do that to nobody. Because I've been blessed, and sometimes, you never know when that person is going to talk to somebody else, and before you know it, that's a client that you didn't even count on or know that was coming. You just treat people the way you want to be treated.
Because
That's a
my
long way
doctor-
away to ask the question.
Yeah. No, I got it.
So to that extent, yes, we do pro bono work, as well as all of the other clients that have to quit. But I'm like, look, you're not paying me no more. Judge, let me off this case right now. We have had a breakdown in the attorney-client relationship.
But I said when I hit the lottery, I'll pay you. And I got the 3-digit number.
Boy.
Well, my doctor's, now, you call my doctor, and I'd be like, hey, doctor, I wanted to, he cut me off in mid-sentence. He said, I don't treat over the phone. Make an appointment. He will not answer any questions over the phone, period. He
Because
has
one
always
question
been
become another.
I
and then
guess
another.
so, but you be like, no, you want to see me and talk to me? Come on in. He is
And
not.
then there's an office for you.
No,
So
Yeah, gotta pay the fee to get in.
it's always money. Most things are. Even though, what's that saying? They say money makes the world go round. Well, then my question is, how much?
Right.
How much?
Mm-hmm.
How much?
So he also dabbles in the other stuff too.
Like what?
Like what?
Like what? Oh gosh. You got some big
When y'all talking about fruit out there, vegetables or something?
Oh,
Yeah.
I got a nice girl.
You got
Are you a
nice
gardener?
All my neighbors think I'm a
Bitcoin got
landscaper.
to.
You got a what? Oh, you Bitcoin? I do. I love Bitcoin.
Oh, you what?
Yes.
How long you been buying Bitcoin?
I have only been buying it since May, and I'm making money. I like my money. I'm doing good.
Only since May.
Well, yeah. It was
I
May,
started
like-
buying Bitcoin 2018.
Really?
And I had a friend of mine who was buying it back in 2000. You know Aaron.
Yeah.
He started buying it. I said, listen, he's a multi-millionaire now.
Yeah.
Why y'all didn't tell me that, Aaron?
Aaron!
Really? You could have just shot me a text and said, Jay, get in here.
He's multi-millionaire. He was showing me Satoshis back when I didn't know what a Satoshi was. I'm like, that number, all them decimal points, what's this? And then the first time he told me, I thought it was a pyramid scheme.
Oh, yeah. I kind of thought it was when I first got into it. But I was like,
Do
oh,
research.
okay.
So yeah, last bull run, I got close to a $500,000 ticket
Wow.
between
I
Bitcoin,
knew it did.
Ethereum. I was killing them because I had been accumulating from 2018.
Oh.
But at the same time, when that boy went down, it smacked me down to my senses too. So when it hit the bear, because from November to February, Bitcoin went from 70,000 to 18. So as you know, if you're in the market, that Bitcoin is the driver of everything. If Bitcoin drops 50, 60%, the other altcoins are going to drop anywhere from 70 to 90%, depending on
They
No.
down now. I looked at it today. I
oh
was
yeah,
like,
this is
"That's
accumulation.
okay.
You accumulate.
That's okay.
DCA, dollar cost average. I almost bought some today, but it's going to drop a little bit more, so I'm going to wait.
I bought some Monday and then it dropped.
That's
Monday
why
afternoon. I was like,
You gotta have a whole Bitcoin, at least have one, and you gotta have at least 10 ETH. You have one Bitcoin, 10 ETH, you can start diversifying, get you some land, some houses, stuff like that. But so physical gold, you need physical gold.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
A gold coin.
Just here, okay?
Golden
oh yeah, I do
eagle.
want
You
yeah.
gotta have
I
gold
want
coins.
yeah.
The
What?
rich, just think about those people in Ukraine. They bomb. Just think if they in China, you can't go get your money out the bank right now.
Right.
In
Yeah.
Ukraine,
Yeah.
there is no bank to go get the money
Right,
out the
yeah.
bank. You better be balling in digital assets. If you're not balling in digital assets, you are making a mistake.
Okay.
And now it's on your taxes.
They only on fair
Well, I
taxes
mean,
now.
that's
They put
what
it
I-
on there.
That's
That's
what I.
because people sending money to places.
That's
You
it.
know, just sending
Oh,
it
you can
over.
hide it.
Funding.
You can hide it.
on some of everything.
You're a lawyer. Don't say that.
Oh, that's what
Well,
it
you
do.
can. Get your Cayman Islands. Well, you can't do Cayman.
Cayman Islands.
You can kind
I was
of
in
hide
banking
it.
Cayman Island accounts with accounts. Shoot.
I
They
actually
still
want
are.
to live in Cayman. Yeah.
Just divert your money somewhere. It's got to
You got
go
to.
somewhere. You can't just, unfortunately, we still from that materialistic society where we want to own, we want to wear everything we own, drive everything we own, have houses. I've seen people with like Cadillacs, and I've gone, literally, I know this person, female, drive a Cadillac. She wear gator boots, gator shoes. She got red bottoms. I went in her
House look like.
and the roof was coming in where the ceiling had been, the roof was leaking.
Yeah.
And it was a hole, not a hole, but like the plaster had come down, and then some other areas. And I'm like looking around, and I'm like thinking to myself, is this bitch crazy? She driving a caddy. She come sugar sharp every day, red by everything, and her roof is. You sleep here. The outside look really good, But when you went inside, it's like, I don't know what we doing. I don't get it. I don't get it. I just don't get
Well,
it.
I think you hit the nail on the head. You just said the outside of the house was good.
Mm-hmm.
Her outside was good. The inside bad. And I guess my answer to that is I see a lot of that happening doing bankruptcies as much as I do. And sometimes I have to ask Michael, try to step away from it, like, why is that? We live beyond our means, most of us. But you hit something else, though. And I think that something else is a lot of times we don't feel good on the inside. So when we dress, we trying to dress up what we think people see us a certain way. So we want to make that external. I got this, I got that. This is what I'm about. But they don't feel that on the inside.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's like I come out with, don't matter. So to some extent, if you know, you got to know where you're going. So if I'm going to church, I'm like, oh, if I know I'm gonna be on television, then there's a certain thing that I need to wear.
You on television?
Oh, well, you see, I said black, but I didn't come as I teach that to my interns.
Yeah,
I teach that to my interns because I said never, because she wants to be a judge. I said never judge a book by its cover. Like you just
That's
don't
the best
do
thing
it.
you could say, yeah.
Because you don't know who it is you're dealing with, or why that person's dressed in that way, whatever the case may be. And a lot of times we do that.
Well, I can say the few millionaires I've met, I ain't met that many, but the few I've met, I would have never known meeting them. I'm talking rough, raggedy looking, and just so happened I'm just nice to everybody. Like, he got what? I was like, I'm being honest. I met this one gentleman, older Caucasian guy. He owns like a museum and all this land and everything out. And you know, when I was at a car show. He owns the car show. So I was like,
he's the owner.
right. They was like so and so and so, and I was like, oh, okay. And I mean, gorgeous cars. And I'm walking around looking at stuff, and it's like, I was like, him? Never would have known. He's not. But that's what I like. It's like you don't have to wear what you own. What you do speaks for itself. Like, I know a few people that always got to tell everybody how smart they are and how beautiful they are. And I'm like, you don't have to tell anybody. I mean, they can look at you and tell. You can't convince me that you're beautiful. I don't care what you say.
Exactly.
You can all day long, I'm beautiful, I look like this person, I look like this person all day long. And I'm thinking, no, not to me, you don't. And I don't care how smart you tell me you are. Okay. Because there's always going to be it's a point in there where you don't know everything, no matter what your IQ is. So I think that we're so caught on just trying to convince other people. Like you say, we're trying to convince other people of our story. We sell on our own advertising. We believe in our own advertisement. We're putting it out there hoping that somebody else is going to believe and buy on. And when I look at, I know, I have to be honest, I can think out of most of my friends, there's a section of them that have all done bankruptcies.
Okay.
But you would not tell by the way they live in, because they live really nice.
Yeah,
They
bankruptcy's
all
not bad.
bankruptcy, and they bankrupt and everything. I know women. Oh, I got too much debt. I'm about to go bankruptcy. Because they try to get. But see, I think in some points you're skating your responsibility. If you have to do it, do it. But in some situations, I don't know. I'm a different person.
How many times your ex-president did it?
I ain't got nothing to do
Well,
with him.
no.
I ain't got nothing to do
This
with
is-
him and his money. I'm
this
talking
is-
about me.
this
and
I'm
is-
just
mine.
talking about Rich. They
Who?
did Rich. That's
Well,
what they do.
But that's what they do. That doesn't mean it's right. Just because somebody does something doesn't. A lot of people do a lot of things doesn't mean that it's right.
And that's
what
correct,
they
but
do.
this
It's
was
not
on the
right.
books. This is the law.
Even
So if
if
it's on the law, so here's the thing.
But there's laws that are on the books that need to be off the books.
Nah, I agree with that too.
Can't sit on sidewalks and
Like
stuff
sodomy.
like that. Can't
Oh,
curse.
yeah, all
Right.
kinds of stuff on
Right,
the book.
right.
Can't curse.
Yeah,
You
I
hit.
done broke all
You
kinds
hit.
of
They
illegal
got all
laws
kinds of books.
Yeah.
that they need to remove. But they're, because they.
Well, we just changed it though.
What we changed?
Roe versus Wade.
Oh yeah, now that's a
Ooh,
whole
that's
hot
an
topic
issue.
right there.
Hot.
I just heard, and I know we don't have that much. I just heard on the radio that somebody, oh God, what state is that? San Francisco. They're trying to make that a friendly
A city for
protection.
abortion?
Yes, because
Wow.
somebody was suing. So, say, woman A has an abortion
Uh-huh.
because she was raped. But the parent of the rapist sued her because,
Because she was about to have an abortion and she wanted to stop her?
yes,
Oh my
not
God.
not the rapist, but the parent.
But
They're
the
like
parent wanted to
suing. They're suing now, or they sued.
Oh my God,
And it's like, I think they said
horrible.
$200,000 or something like that because my messed up son raped you.
And so you're trying to
I
kill
want you
my
to-
grand.
Right, and
Oh,
that's what
wow.
that's what they're using, and they're like they said they're going to court. I'm like, what?
See, when they changed that law, that just put
It
a
just opened the door for so
lot
much.
of problems. Because you have states that are free to say, okay, we're going to do it here,
Yeah.
which is going to lead to people going there to perform abortions. So one state says good, another state says bad.
So now you have, instead of interstate transportation of alcohol, let me shut up.
Oh, there you go.
Clear states, death states, or whatever they're gonna call it. They just go. It's a horrible
Wow.
thing.
Yes.
It's and they even said they were talking. It's a commercial out for some woman in Michigan, and they were saying she was against everything. So they asked her if a 12-year-old girl got raped by
I saw that.
somebody, and she was like, "Nope,
No exemption.
nope, yeah."
No exemption.
She got to have the baby. You're going to force her to have this baby. After she already had this horrible experience, now you're going to force her to carry this baby to full term. And then, because she doesn't want it, you're going to force her to get rid of it. So a 12-year-old she can't make a decision. So you're making a decision for her. So, she gets rid of, she puts the baby up for adoption or something.
So now you got
The
more
psychological
kids and,
damage that,
trauma,
that's
all that,
coming
yeah.
from this.
mental health issue, all.
You got a whole women generally are not going to be in certain states to be able to make a decision with their own body, and I think that's alarming. I think we're going backwards in time, not forward. Anytime you have a government that says, "No, you can't do with your body what you want to do," that's what's being said. So. And if you start thinking about it, again, I don't know what kind of time you got. What do you guys think about the vaccine and the pandemic? What you guys think about that?
I mean, personally, I've always viewed.
Because I think they tying this together. I think this is all tied together. That's just my take. Because one thing is, because if you start to look at it, all of these things are being implemented by the government.
So can you say dictatorship? Hidden within a democracy, dictatorship.
Oh, I thought this was happy, fun, joy.
Yeah, it is.
Serious.
I didn't say dictatorship, government.
I did.
Some other
And guess,
stuff
and,
going on.
hold on. And guess who's gonna represent me?
I don't know.
What you think about that?
Let me just say this.
Vaccine.
I did not want the vaccine. I was exposed, I think it was 2 or 3 times directly, but I got the vaccine. And I got it because of my mother, because she did not want to get it. So I was like, well, you kind of old. And she has asthma and AFib, some other issues. So I was like, you need to get it, because I knew, so in 2019 when we got shut down, I was exposed directly. My god sister had it, and she didn't know she had it because she was asymptomatic. So I was exposed to it, and I got sick, but I didn't get sick what everybody else got. I got a real bad allergy thing. When my allergies were so bad, I was taking 3 allergy pills at a time, trying to not, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. I mean, my allergies were horrible, and I had a headache, but that was pretty much it. Lasted for 2-3 days, and then it was gone. Then I got exposed again. But each time, because it was new, I never thought to go to the doctor.
Okay.
I was like, whatever. I didn't think I just thought I had allergies, because every time I think I get exposed, my allergies flare up.
Okay.
I just get I've never been sick. But my mom, I was like, I need to get this. And so I said, she said, if you get it, I'll get it. So that's the only reason why I got it. So I got the first one. What did I get? Moderna. So I got the first two. Then when it was time for the booster, my doctor called me. He's like, hey, come on in and get your booster. Because I do have asthma. So I went in. When I tell you I was sick as a dog through that booster, I was sick for 3 days where I couldn't stay awoke. I was kept falling asleep. I was achy. I had this headache and I was sneezing constantly. So it was like my allergies, but they were on 10. And as soon as I literally I got it done in the morning, came to the show that night, because that's when we was on Mondays. By Tuesday when I woke up, I overslept. I didn't wake up until I went to bed and everything. I woke up like 10:30.
Wow.
And I usually get up at 6:30 every morning. I woke up and I'm thinking it was normal time, but I couldn't stay up. So for me, I do think that, I mean, when you look at all the evidence, this has been around for a while. It just got out of hand. I think it's just somebody's test tube got out of control. I really do. I think that they were messing with it in the lab and it just got out. I just think it escaped. I don't know.
Oh?
Let me see. No,